It's been a while. Let's talk. Welcome back, everybody, to the lifted Civic build. My name is Ben. I'm one of the digital media guys here at S3 Magazine, and wanted to give everybody an update as to why you haven't seen me in the past couple of months with this car. So basically, what ended up happening was we got to a point with the build last time that we were happy with the way everything was progressing, but we were starting to have some transmission issues. It wouldn't idle right, and this swap that came from a CRV was perfectly fine running and driving in the CRV, and then once we swapped it into the Civic, we had to then modify a few things to make it work with the car, and learned a lot in the process, but nothing was just adding up right. So we ended up having to basically get a harness adapter piece, and that was in a few videos, and splice together the harness for the single cam to mount to the twin cam motor to make it work with the twin cam ECU and TCU all in one. So from there, we sent it over to a friend of mine's shop. Just said, hey, these are the problems that it's having. It's not wanting to run forward. It's just not wanting to run, period, and not drive. So we'll take a look at it, and it was about a couple weeks in, checking up on the car, and they let me know really early in the morning, I think it was on a Monday, hey, somebody's hit your car in our parking lot. And I was like, what? And yeah, somebody was cutting through the parking lot last night and basically T-boned your car. I was like, great, suspension damage. I'm thinking the worst immediately, but in all reality, it was not that bad. They ended up finding out who it was. We settled outside of everything, didn't get anybody else involved with it. Ended up being a relatively smooth process. It was just damage to the doors and the fender, and just kind of threw it all back together, and they got it out of the shop and got it back to us. So now we've had the car for about 2 weeks in our possession. The car sure does run a lot better. Jake actually made a really cool bracket for the throttle cable, and he's actually made a video on that, which I should hopefully remember to link in the description. But if not, go check out Slightly Mangled's YouTube channel for all these build updates. He's been posting stuff without me even being there, so and I really appreciate all the work that he's done on this. It would not be possible without him. So everybody that's watching this, go give him a follow real quick and then come back. But now that we have the car in our possession, this week we kind of just hopped back into it a couple nights and just wrenched on it, got the rear lift kit installed for the most part. The last lift kit piece that we're waiting on is actually something that we're gonna have to be pretty involved with, and it's to tie everything together. I think it's called the tie bracket that goes in the back where the lower control arms go to meet. Basically, it has to be dropped down as well as the differential because it's all-wheel drive. And that diff has to sit down lower to mate with the 3-inch subframe drop in the front, if that makes sense. So all of this has to go down together and then tie everything together, because as of right now, without that tie brace being there, our lowering brackets are just pulling in or out, causing camber issues and toe issues, and even some caster issues, just all kinds of alignment issues in the rear that we can't rectify until this piece is made. So once that piece is made, we're going to be able to have full access to all the adjustments, camber, caster to a point, and toe. And then we'll be able to mount the differential up. We're still waiting on the LSD for this thing. Got that coming in here pretty soon, hopefully, as long as the manufacturing process of it doesn't delay any further. And then we'll start working on getting the all-wheel drive conversion in. But as of right now, we're not entirely sure what the cause is on the car not going into any forward gears. It goes into reverse, park, neutral, just fine, but the forward gear is just not having it. It's like it's going into a limp mode at this point. So it's just a little something we have to figure out, where you can mash the throttle and it revs up just fine, but it just barely creeps forward, like it has no power going forward. But it's got just fine reverse and neutral in park. So we're working through that. That's going to be up next on the docket for us. But other than that, the car is actually coming together pretty nice. We're gonna get some different wheels on it, and once we figure out the alignment issues, we'll be able to kind of see if we need to run spacers on it, or what kind of a fender situation I'm going to want to run. Maybe I bought a wide body for the thing, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. It's just fender flares. It's not like a true wide body, but still, I don't know. There's a lot of unknowns still at this point, but we're working through them one by one, and I'm like super happy to just have the car back to where we can wrench on it and make some progress on it, even if the car is not really driving the way it should right now. I'm still very happy with this car, and at the end of the day, it may be a pile of junk to a lot of people, and even myself included at points, but it's going to be a really cool car when it's all finished, and I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully getting the transmission issues fixed and getting this rear bracket installed properly is going to just kind of take it to the next level, and yeah, that basically finish out the car. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and again, please be sure you're subscribed here if you want to see updates on this car. This is where I'm going to be uploading everything to, and be sure you're subscribed over at Slightly Mangled. Again, I'm going to leave a link in the description for his channel. Please go check out his stuff. He's got so much more info on this build, and you can see more of the woes and trials over there that we're having to currently deal with, and it's very eye-opening, and it's a great build progress so far. He's got a lot of really cool stuff over there, so we want to make sure we're supporting him in the best way possible, so please be sure you're following over there too. That's going to be a wrap for today. Thanks again for watching. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Later.